In this video, we are going to look at how we can move palettes around and explore and navigate using it within the docks. Right now, we're going to go ahead and pick on the Layers palette. Within the layers, we'll explain later on what a layer does, but what I want you guys to do is to go ahead and click on it in that tab and then drag it out. When you move the layer palette out into the area, you're going to notice that it's no longer attached in the dock, and you could freely move it from here on out. And if you want to, if it's blocking away, click and move it out of the way. If you don't like that it's there anymore, if you just want to get rid of it, you can click on this X right here. That should collapse it and make it disappear. If later on you realize that you needed that, you're going to go back to Window and you're going to go look at Layers. Some of these palettes actually have a keyboard shortcut, so it'll help you in case you accidentally close it up. If you can remember, F7 is that layer. Now it'll bring it back up to this area. What we're going to do is we're going to add it back into our dock, but we're not going to use our primary dock. We're going to use this smaller dock over here. Same concept as before. We're going to grab it in this blank gray area and I'm going to move it over here. Now I'm getting ready to place it and move it where I want to. Instead of returning it to its original location, we're going to move it right below this collapsed dock. Now you're going to see a blue bar show up as you get near it. By seeing that bar, all you have to do is release and it moves that palette into that dock. For a weird situation where you want to create your own dock, which is also possible as well, we're going to go ahead and take that icon of the layer and we're going to move it over to the left hand side of the collapsed dock. Now you'll see a long blue bar appear across the screen. Go ahead and drop it once you see that blue bar and it creates its own dock. We can go ahead and collapse it and resize it and make it as big or as small as we want to. We're going to go ahead and collapse it. If I want to expand it, I can go ahead and click on that. Now you'll notice that it's eating up into the screen real estate. That's a big problem. If we had a bigger monitor, we might be able to leave this open all the way, but since we don't have a huge screen to work with, we're going to go ahead and collapse it. After realizing that I don't want it there, I want to move it back to its original location. I'm going to go ahead and click on this and move it back to its original location. As long as I have my drop zone, and your drop zone should be visible when it's highlighted as blue, I'm going to release and it's back in its original location, but it's not in the right order. What we're going to do is go ahead and click on it and drag it so it's at the very front. This is back to our default status. Later on I'm going to show you how to just mess everything up and then revert it back to normal. And that's about workspaces.